Okay, so I need to tell you my Jerusalem part two story. So I went to Jerusalem for Shabbat at Rebecca's a couple of weeks ago, and as I said, I really wanted to go back and go to the Kotel, go to the Wailing Wall, and just have that kind of spiritual Jewish bit of time. So I planned to go. And I just didn't do it very well, basically. So first of all, I got to the central bus station in Jerusalem, and then I just put in my Google Maps, like wall, and it Google mapped me. It took me to the Damascus gate, and I went in, and I was suddenly like, oh, I'm in the Muslim quarter. Is this a good idea? Is this okay? Basically, it was fine, but I walked through very cautiously, very carefully, fairly quickly. And yeah, like I don't think it's that recommended at the moment to just go wandering around on your own in the Muslim Quarter if you don't know what you're doing. So that was the first bit. And then I got to the Kotel, and oh, it was amazing. Like, it's only the third time that I've been. The first time was when I was 16 on tour, and it was really exciting and really emotional because everything's really exciting and really emotional when you're 16. And then the second time I went when I was about 22 or 23, and I just started working at UJIA. And I actually went with three friends of mine, three boys, three non-Jewish boys, my poor mother, honestly. But we had an amazing trip, and actually I felt very proud to sort of show them like my heritage really and my religion, and it was actually really lovely time. And then yeah, and then this was my third time, and it was really it was very special going as now a citizen of Israel. It was like, I live here. And I sort of went into the women's section, and I sort of sat for a bit and really just thought about my life and my journey and everything, that has happened, everything I want to happen. And I took with a piece of paper and a pen, and I wrote a little prayer as the tradition to do. And then I went to actually up to the wall, and I found a little crevice. I folded it all up and like tucked it into a crevice. And I said the Shema, and I said a prayer. And oh, I felt so good. I felt very honored and privileged to be there, and to be there as someone now living in Israel. So it was really amazing moment. And I felt, very calm and everything. And then so I was leaving, and as I walked up the stairs, there's like a rabbi standing there with these like red strings. So it's like a thing where you go to the wall, you get like a red string, and they tie it on you and they bless you, and then like when it falls off, like your wish will come true or something. Anyway, so yeah, basically, the rabbi, I'm like, yeah, great, let's have the red string, bless me. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I know I have to probably give a bit of charity, a bit of tzedakah, a couple of shekels, fine. Anyway, so he's saying, what's your name? What's your mother's name? Your father's name? How long are you in Israel? And I said, oh, I made Aliyah. Oh, amazing, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end he goes, oh, so you know about tzedakah, about charity. I'm like, yes, of course, no, I'm happy to give you something. So I'm going to get my purse out. And then he's like, oh, well, actually, there's two starving people actually round the corner. Do you think you could buy them some food? I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know. And he was like, they're like, they have empty tummies, they haven't eaten, could you buy them some lunch? And, I just was feeling really like calm and at peace and really happy with everything in my life. And, you do see these like very old, like crinkly, like beggar women, like around the Kotel. So I was like, okay, do you know what? Fine. So off we go, and we go to this around the corner. It's like Shwamasan, and then he just calls over his mate, who is this other rabbi, this enormous fat rabbi, and then they just start ordering shawarma, and I was like, hold on a minute. And then they start ordering three. All I heard was shalosh, and I was like, lo, not shalosh. And then basically another rabbi came over, and he was like, oh, can you buy for me too? I was like, hold on a minute, what is going on here? And then like the guy at the till like racks it all up, and he's like, it's 120 shekels. And I was like, 120 shekels? I was like, I can't afford this. I'm making Aliyah. I'm like in all pan. I can't afford this. And the guy at the till is like, well, it's not dollars. I was like, I know it's not dollars, but still, I can't afford 120 shekels. And also, like, these starving, poor, starving people, these enormous fat rabbis. Oh my God, I literally felt like I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'm not going to spend all of my money on these guys who basically conned me. But then I felt guilty and awkward, so I didn't know what to do. And then I basically just got out like 50 shekel note, and I just gave it to one of them. And I was like, this is all I can afford. I'm really sorry. Bye. And then ran away. And I felt so upset. Like, I really got conned by rabbis at the wall. Oh, and then my red string like fell off half an hour later anyway. Oh, so annoying. And so I really felt a bit like, okay, I'm not doing that well so far. Like bit of a dodgy walk through the Muslim quarter. Oh, just been conned by some rabbis. I was like, okay, fine. My next job is to find a silver tray for my friend. My very best friend Danny is getting married next week, and I'm going home again to be a bridesmaid. And me and my other best friend Zoe decided to buy her a silver tray for her Shabbos candles. And honest to God, you cannot find a silver tray in the old city of Jerusalem. I went all around the Jewish quarter into all the shops. They just don't have them. And like one shop had some that were like thousands. We need silver plated. I mean, sorry, Danny, can't afford a whole silver tray. But anyway, like you can get like nice trays in the silver vaults in London. Like we've done this before. Anyway, so I really couldn't find anything. But I had seen a tray in this little shop just before I entered the wall on the Muslim quarter side. So I was like, oh, fine, I'll go back and get that one. I discussed it with Zoe. And then I went back, and then the guy was like, oh, needs to clean it. It was like really dirty and tarnished. I was like, okay, fine. It's a nice guy, like young guy, nice looking, whatever. Anyway, and then I go to pay, and I go in my purse, and I realize I don't have my credit card with me, and I do not have enough cash. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't obviously buy this. And he was like, oh, well, what have you got? I was like, I've got like 100 shekels. Obviously, I'd given 50 shekels to the rabbis, but I still didn't have enough by a long shot. And he was like, okay, you know what? Just give me what you can now, and then come back tomorrow and give me the rest tomorrow. And I was like, no, I can't do that. That's ridiculous. He's like, no, it's fine. I was like, I don't think I can even come back tomorrow. I don't live here. He's like, well, come next week. It's fine. And I was like, no. And then he was like, no, really, I trust you. It's all one God. I was like, oh, okay, let me think about it. So I went and I spoke to Zoe. She's like, oh wow, that's so nice. I'm like, yeah, that's so nice. And then I phoned Rebecca just to see like what she thought. And then after like a bit of backwards and forwards, eventually she was like, hold on a minute. Is he just seriously overcharging you for like a piece of crap? And he doesn't care if you don't come back because you're already overpaying. And then suddenly I was like, oh no, am I being conned again? I was just like, oh, for goodness sakes. And Rebecca was like, what? I told her the rest of my stories. And she was like, honestly, Louise, she's like, I'm coming with you next time you go to Jerusalem because you're not doing any of this right. I was like, I know. I had like my 10 minutes of niceness, like actually at the wall. And then the rest of it was just a disaster. Anyway, so I left that. But then as I was going back through into the walled plaza again, because I've literally been going in and out from the Jewish quarter to the Muslim quarter, the security guard was like, oh, it's you again. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just having this ridiculous day. And then we start chatting a bit, and he was like, oh, what are you doing here? And I said, oh, I made Aliyah. He's like, where do you live? Tel Aviv. He's like, I live in Tel Aviv. Anyway, we start chatting, and then after a bit, he's like, so can I have your number? I was like, oh, okay. And he was really cute, like nice, handsome Israeli security guard. And then like a load of tourists needed to like come in, and we had to stop for ages. So he checked all their bags, and I was just sort of standing there, and they're like, oh, do you want to go through? I was like, no, I'm fine. I'm just helping here for a bit. Anyway, so he took my number, and I left, and I was like, oh, well, I went to the wall like an hour or two ago, and I prayed for a husband, and now I've got a date, so thank you, Hashem. So yeah, that was a real nice end to my Jerusalem dramas, and then it took me 3 hours to get back home. Nightmare timing and traffic. I was just so exhausted. But then I got home, and I got a quick turnaround, and I went to meet Rebecca and Mickey and their friend Michael Klinger. And this guy Michael, who I don't know, is Rebecca's friend. He lives in Jerusalem, and basically he discovered my vlogs from Rebecca's Facebook and like has watched them all and was like wanted to meet me. So I basically had like this most amazing surreal experience with like my number one fan, who basically knew everything about me. It was like, so how's your job and blah blah blah, and it was just like a really cool experience. And I mean, I hope I lived up to the expectation. And now obviously you're in the vlog, because, you know, you really deserve to be in it. It was such a wonderful end to my ridiculous day. And we had a really lovely dinner in Serona Market, and it was live music. And oh yeah, so it ended the day quite nicely in the end. Yeah, it was just a ridiculous day. And I do feel like I need to go back to Jerusalem and have a bit of a like nicer, calmer, and not getting conned experience.